Many thanks, Mr. President. This is a pleasure for me to initiate this work with all my colleagues in this committee. And I would like, with all of them, to achieve an important and meaningful report, because I believe that we need to have a strong European pillar of social rights to address citizens' concerns, to enable them to get control of the situation, and also to rebalance the European Union and the Eurozone. I welcome the Commission's proposal, but I consider that the Parliament should build on that and go further with the aim of achieving a binding agreement, if possible, between the Parliament and the European Council, also involving the social partners, and a binding agreement with a roadmap with concrete measures to implement this pillar. On concrete measures, the draft I am proposing is calling for bold ideas. First of all, when it comes to participation in the labour market, the skills guarantee should become, in fact, a new right, particularly when addressing digital illiteracy. But we consider that equal opportunities between men and women needs to be built on revising the leave schemes we have and providing better child services. Then we need to make sure that decent, fair working conditions are provided for all workers, whatever the form of employment, and we have in mind particularly the implications of the current digital revolution. That's why we propose the idea of calling for a directive for fair conditions for all forms of employment. And then when it comes addressing social risks, new risks and old risks, we underline the idea of a child guarantee, the youth guarantee, but also the need to address the problems of working poor and to address the risk of poverty with a framework for minimum income. The problem with pensions is also considered. Of course, we know that sustainability will depend on active aging, but let me tell you that I'm pretty convinced that the best way is to raise the employment rate everywhere. Finally, we need to have credible means, and this should involve legislation, but also rebalancing the economic governance by paying much more attention to the social indicators. I'm proposing a convergence code in such a way that we should develop a kind of macro social surveillance, and whenever we see big social problems or imbalances, we should trigger action and stronger means. Finally, when I speak about stronger means, I'm also referring to financial means. First of all, means to support social investment with a silver rule in the fiscal consolidation process. Secondly, of course, we know that a lot depends on our capacity to tackle tax avoidance and tax evasion, because many important sources of revenue are there. And finally, something else should be done with European financial instruments. Let me underline the role of the European Strategic Fund for Investment, which should be much more focused on good job creation and social investment, but also the role of structural funds, because they are a central tool to ensure social cohesion. Finally, I'm also considering the specific needs of the Eurozone, and I'm proposing an instrument for upward convergence and the instrument to deal with asymmetric shocks. So these are bold ideas, but let me tell you, I think that we are the representatives of citizens, and we need to be bold. We need to meet their aspirations, and I count on you to deliver a bold and relevant report. Thank you very much.
Maria João.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I think it's really promising that we had such a rich debate with a lot of engagement of many members of the committee, and also with the President, Alan Larsen, someone I know very well, and it's really great to have you here in this capacity of advising President Juncker. Well, let me tell you that I'm assuming that the Parliament, as a European institution, should organize its work with a good timing to deliver the report before the College preparing its own proposal. And our timing is quite good for this purpose. We can also benefit from the public consultation which is taking place, and I very much agree that we should open up the European Parliament to listen to society and to citizens. But if we deliver our report in January, this is well fit to the Commission calendar. Second point is we are supposed to come up with updated responses to new challenges. Let me just pinpoint two. One, yes, we do need to much better organize the inclusion of young people and women in the labour market. So these are two issues where we need to go much further. Second point, the implications of the digital revolution. Because these are new forms of employment, they will open opportunities for us, but we need to make sure that the fundamental rights will be respected. Final comment on the means. In order to have a credible report, we need to be concrete on the objectives, the measures, and the means to deliver. And the means are legislative, but also governance. We need to really to better coordinate economic and social policies. And third, financial means. Because if we have in mind huge social investment we need to make to deliver on the social pillar, we need to translate this into concrete instruments. So I count on my colleagues of the committee to be bold enough, and then with the report coming from the Parliament also to encourage the Commission to be up to the challenge. Thank you very much.